Well, if you're looking for a great bottle of wine, now you need not look past New York State. Our good friend and wine expert Bill Mahoney has returned from Premier Wine and Spirits with information on April being New York Wine Month. Hallelujah. Hello, William. Nice to have you back.
Hi, Linda. How are you doing?
I am doing good. New York wines are pretty darn good. Huh?
They are. They're great. And, you know, unfortunately, even being right here in the state, oftentimes customers tend to overlook them with, you know, the popularity of California and everything. But, you know, thanks to the New York Wine and Grape Foundation out in Canandaigua, they have been spearheading this promotion of New York Wine Month. And over 160 different restaurants and over 200 wine shops throughout the state are going to be featuring 90+ New York State wineries throughout the whole state of New York. And we're very happy to be participating with this. It's been going on strong now for 3 weeks, and we've been seeing a lot of interest. We've been doing wine tastings at all of our locations, and so, you know, we're really just very happy to see the enthusiasm from our customers to take another second look at a product that we do very well with here in our own state.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you have a question for Bill, you can call in at 644-9840. Bill, am I correct, though, that, I mean, wine seems to have been a part of different parts of the state. We have it up here in western New York and in the Niagara. We have it along Canandaigua. Do we have wine also coming out of Long Island?
We do.
We do, yeah.
On the North Fork of Long Island, they do lots of great wines, and they do a lot of the wines that that are referred to as vinifera varieties. You know, that's your Cabernet, your Merlot, your Cabernet Franc, your Chardonnay, your Rieslings, and so they do quite well down there. Lower Hudson Valley, they have a lot of great wines. Of course, like you mentioned, the Niagara Escarpment has a lot of wonderful wineries that are opening up now. Just within the last few years, we've seen explosive growth. There's now over 10, where just a couple years ago there was only about 2. But of course, the jewel of the state is the Finger Lakes, and certainly that is a great destination for people to take day trips or little weekenders, and certainly encourage people to go out and not just, you know, try the wine at home, but to go and visit the wineries. I mean, they're right in our own backyard.
And they love it when you come.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, you know, it's not commercialized like you would find in some of the more major wine growing areas of the country, and like in Napa and everything. It's starting to get a lot more commercial. You're seeing more of those wineries run by suits as opposed to wine people, and it's still, you know, very much farming in the Finger Lakes and throughout New York State. You know, these are farm wineries in most cases, and they're happy to see people come. They're happy to pour you off on their wines. You know, many of the wine tastings that they offer are free, as opposed to like in California, where they charge you $25, $30 just for a tasting and tour. So they're happy to see the visitors come through, and you know, there's great festivals, there's wine trails, there's bed and breakfasts, there's all kinds of great restaurants and dining. So, you know, really get out there and visit these wineries and experience what New York State has to offer.
And you brought some brochures, and I want to let you know, as soon as you get into that area of wine country, you start to see these just about at every rest stop.
Absolutely.
These wonderful brochures, so pick these up ahead of time, and you can really just make a wonderful day trip out of it, or a 4-day weekend. A lot of these wineries have built in like bed and breakfast.
Sure.
You could actually just stay. You can have your wine, and then you don't have to get back out on the road.
That's right.
You can stay right there, have a wonderful dinner.
Yep.
So they have all sorts of wonderful things.
And if you want to pre-plan, we have all these brochures at our stores.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, even better.
So come on to any of our 3 locations, and you can get these and kind of scope out where you would like to go, maybe map out your itinerary for the day. And you know, even if, like you said, you can stay overnight at a bed and breakfast, there's lots of different limo tour groups. So if you don't feel like you know, having to sort of monitor how much you drink during the day, you can certainly take advantage of a tour group and get a bunch of your friends all together and just, you know, go all around. And you know, great weather we're having now. This is just like the perfect opportunity to get out there and see these wineries.
All right, I'm noticing we have a white wine that is poured today.
We do. And, you know, my opinion of New York State is that we do one grape very well. We do a lot of things very well, but our signature varietal here is Riesling. And, you know, I think our Rieslings from the Finger Lakes especially can rival any of the Rieslings across the world, and certainly in California and Washington State. But you know, the one country that does hang its hat on this varietal is Germany, and I think we can give German Rieslings a real run for their money with our vibrancy and acidity and the great stone fruit that comes through in these wines. And you know, you can just give this a really nice smell. This is a wine we're drinking today from Lucas Vineyards, and Lucas is right on Cayuga Lake, but you just smell those nice peaches and apricots.
It's very aromatic.
Oh, it's just delicious.
Aromatic.
And you know, this is probably right at the perfect temperature. You know, you can give this a little sip and you'll just see how your mouth will just salivate, and it's just beautiful. Beautiful wine.
It is. Bill, can you taste a Riesling from New York and a Riesling from Germany and tell the difference?
You know, that's a good question. I think for the most part, if you have a trained palate, you should be able to, because there's a little bit more of a slaty character and a little more.
It has an accent.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Oh, this good.
Guten Tag. Yeah. So yes, but there's a little bit more of a minerality in a lot of the wines from Germany, especially in the Mosel River Valley. But and this is still a little bit more of a warmer climate as compared to Germany. But you know, I mean, in terms of quality overall, these wines are terrific. And it was actually Germans that introduced this variety in the Finger Lakes. It was in the mid-50s that Dr. Konstantin Frank proved that these vinifera species, these Riesling grape varieties, could grow very well here and do quite well. And here we are 50 years later, and we've got delicious wine.
It's wonderful. All right, we have a question for you, Bill. Someone has called in. Hi, welcome to the show.
Well,
go ahead, please.
I just had a comment and a question. Last week we went down to some wineries in Lockport. Wonderful. I recommend everybody to go down there. It was, I didn't know it was there. It was just great.
The winery in Lockport, okay.
They were all great. But I was wondering, it was such good wine, I don't think I can drink anything else. Do they carry a lot of these products from these small wineries?
Do you carry at Premier a lot of from the smaller wineries?
We do. There are some wineries out there that actually are so boutique that they don't have distribution. But the one thing that you can rest assured is that as long as you're a New York State resident, you can have these wines delivered right to your door. In many cases, it would be less expensive than if we were to special order it in for you, because their pricing structure is the same as it would be at retail. And then with the shipping and everything, it would work out to be about the same. But I think the caller was mentioning something about the wineries up in Lockport, and you know, of course, there's Warm Lake Estates, and there's you know, Honeymoon Trail, and a lot of different places up there. And we, at my store at least, we carry most of them, and I'm sure our other stores do it as well. One of my colleagues down at our Orchard Park store probably has our biggest selection of New York State wines out of our 3 stores, and he's a real advocate for those wines, and very enthusiastic, and tries to get in as many as he can. So you know, if you're looking for anything for you, come on down and make a trip to the store. Just give us a call, and we'd be happy to let you know if we have it or not.
So if you wanted to have a dinner just full of New York wines, what would you serve?
Oh, you could do all kinds of things. You know, certainly if you're looking to match the wine with different things, you know, you could incorporate reds and whites. You know, you could have aperitifs and digestifs. You know, we do great Chardonnays. We do very nice Pinot Noirs nowadays. And I'm a big fan of Cabernet Franc. It's a varietal that a lot of people might not be familiar with. It's usually a blending grape in California Meritage or in Bordeaux. You see that grape blended in traditional Bordeaux wines. But, you know, it's just a really nice wine. It's fleshy, it's full, it's got a lot of blackberry and cassis type fruits. Some people are a little apprehensive to try varietal Cabernet Franc because they can come across a little green, a little underripe. But I've been noticing over the last few years that the Cabernet Francs from New York State are constantly improving, getting better and better. So I think there's a lot of promise for that varietal. I'd really encourage people to give those a try because they're still quite reasonable and offer just tremendous quality.
That's great. So you don't have to do this on your own. Let's say you want to have a dinner, you're going to have some friends over, and you're going to be celebrating New York State wines. Ask the folks at Premier.
Absolutely.
They can work you right through appetizers, main course, desserts, fruit later on, and they'll just match you with the perfect wines. And that's what these people are known for. They are so good at helping you. It's really that one-on-one customer service. And you're going to discover some wonderful new wines and that are grown and raised right here in New York State. Where are you going to go? The Premier Group, Premier Wine and Spirits. You may call them at 565-3020. And if you want to get in touch with Bill, he can help you right over the internet at premiergroup.net. Bill at premiergroup.net. He's happy to answer your questions, but the whole staff is there ready to help you. All right, everybody, go and enjoy and support New York.